students, today we are going to start the second point of our everyday English. And the last part we have learned how we can talk about the past events. Now in this part we are going to discuss about the next point, and that is point number 2, talking about future plans. Or invitations. And predictions. So open your books, page number 164. On this page number, first line of this point. When we would like to talk about what we intend to do in the future. English has no fixed verb forms for the same. So whenever we want to talk about the future events, so for that there is not any fixed verb for future events. There are several ways, several it means many ways for expressing future time in English. So whenever you want to express future time or what will happen in future, so for that there are many ways available in English language to express your feeling about the future. One of these ways is to use shall and will with the bare form of the word. So first way is that we can use shall or will with the bare form of the word. It means V1. It means first form of the plain form of the word. However, there are other also way expressing the future, and these are more common. For example, so beside this, after this, there are many other ways for expressing the future events. For example, the class leaves for Bangalore this evening to participate in the inter-college competition. So in this way, this sentence is very important because this is expressed in another way to tell the future event. The class leaves for Bangalore this evening to participate in the inter-college competitions. Next, the president speaks at the Lal Bahadur Stadium tomorrow evening. It means the president is going to speak about at the Lal Bahadur Stadium tomorrow. In these sentences, in both sentences, it can be seen that the simple present tense is used to express the future action or events. So in these both sentences, there is used simple present tense, but that is used to express the future event. Sometimes we need to use the present continuous tense to express future actions or events. So not only simple present tense, but present continuous tense we can also use to express for the future events. Usually then the time is mentioned next week, tomorrow, etc. So for that we need to use their words like tomorrow, next week, next month, like that. It is the near future, so that is not completely future tense but near to the future. For example, the president is visiting our colony tomorrow. It means tomorrow the president is going to visit our colony, but that is not fixed. We cannot say that is complete. That will definitely happen. The town is hosting the Olympic Games this year. In this way, we can talk about future events. Intention of the person for the future can also be expressed with the present continuous form of the verb. We can also use going to plus verb. So another way, second way is expressing future event is we can use simple present tense. But in this tense and present continuous tense, in both these tenses we need to use some words like tomorrow, next week, etc. Like words we need to use in these tenses to express the future events. Otherwise we cannot express the future event properly without using these words. So after this there is another way for expressing future events. For example, we can use going to plus verb. Going to plus V1 to indicate future intention or plan. For example, when we say I am going to buy a car, I am going to buy, B-U-Y, first form of the verb after going to. I am going to buy a car. We mean that I have the intention to buy a car. So whenever we use going to plus V1, so in that sentence there is our intention. We show our intention that in future we are going to do something and that we are having that kind of intention, our purpose, our aim. I do not think I am going to excuse him for this delay, means that this would be my future course of action and not that it is happening at the present moment. Look at the following sentences. The bus is going to be late today. It means the bus, he is having some kind of intention that the bus will definitely be late today. It is going to be rain this evening. So in this way we can use going to plus V1 to express future events. In all these cases, intention or planning of the part of the person is suggested, and so going to plus V1 is used to convey it means carry this. It is suggested that it is an action that has been finalized or planned and is unlikely to be changed. Unlikely, it means improbable. Whereas if we say the bus will be late, or it will rain this evening, or I will not send this report this evening, there is no certainty implied. So whenever we use a will after the subject to express future events, so there is not any kind of certainty that something will definitely happen or not happen in future. But whenever we use going to, so that is definitely something will happen in the future, that can we use going to. The future can also be expressed with shall, will, verb. Shall is used with the first person I and we, and will is used with the second and third person. Note that in current usage, will is also used widely with the first person to express the simple future. For example, so in today's world, we use shall and will to express future event. Shall we use with the subject I and we, and with other subject we use will. But in today's world, in modern English, we use will with I and we also. So that is acceptable. For example, I will send this mail tomorrow. So I will send this mail tomorrow, it means he is going to do something in future, but that is not certain. Next, we can also use about to plus verb for happening which are very eminent. So there is another way of expressing future events about to plus word. Eminent, eminent it means like to come or happen soon. Likely to happen in a very short while. So whenever we use this point about to plus v1, so or verb, that time anything just going to happen quickly soon, that time we use this. For example, Mr. Pawar is about to leave for Mumbai. It means just now, within one hour or half an hour, he is going to leave for Mumbai. Miss Rani is about to present her program of dance. It means within few seconds, few minutes, that dance of that girl will start on the stage. In this way, something quickly going to happen soon. So that time we need this way of expression, and that is about to plus word. We can also use be plus to plus the form of the verb to express the planned action or necessity or duty. Another way is number 6, be plus to plus verb. For example, she is to be proceeding over the function at 6 o'clock. So whenever we want to express any planned action or necessity or duty, so for that we can use this format. Next, there is to be an anecdote meeting in the office at 10 o'clock. It means that is necessary or planned something. After that, next paragraph, there is to be next sentence, there is to be compulsory attendance for the prayer session. So these are the sentences used for duty, necessity or planned action. When we want to express prediction for the future, we normally do it in the following manner. Actually, whenever we want to tell or speak about the future event, that time we use few ways of expressing English for future events. These are the ways, 6 ways are given here, and their sentences also given here. For example, this function is going to be a runaway success. He has made a good name for himself in the movie and he will become one of the best actors of our times. Sagar will be our best athletic if he goes on at this rate. Sachin will be an ace-beat batsman with his dedications and training. In this way, we can use these forms or these formulas in our day-to-day English language to express future event. In talking about the event we plan for the future, we need to use will and shall. Let us look at the same passage on tracking that we used in the section of talking about the past events and express. Let us say the same thing for the future. So in the last part, when we were learning about the past event, how we can talk about the past event, there we learned a paragraph that was about a trekking trip. So that paragraph we can convert about in future events also, that in future we will plan for that trekking camp or that trip. So how can we change that? For example, in the last paragraph we were talking about past events, therefore we write at the starting that in the last month. So if we are going to talk about future, so in this paragraph we have to write at the starting of the paragraph next month, next week, next year. It means in future. Next month, there we cannot say last one, as we are planning for the future. All of us plan to get together into a group. All of us plan to get together into a group and decide to go trekking to the top of the Nilgiri mountain. We will first sit together and decide on the kinds of things that we need to carry. We will chalk out a list and then check and recheck the list with each other. One on the day when we are to start on our trip, all of us will meet at the station. We will then count the number of people, get our luggage together and board the train. We will get off at Muttupalayam station and then will get into a bus of Uttakamand. We will fix up our luggage at guest house. We shall take a day's rest and then start afresh the next day. We shall take our road map, our backpack with food, water and medicine etc. and then start trekking up the hills on the evening of the first day. We will put up tents and halt for the nights. We will start off the next day at the crack of dawn and then by mid afternoon we will reach the top of the hill. The view will be splendid from there. We will watch the views from there. We will take photographs and then we'll eat our snacks, talk and have fun. So this is the paragraph we changed in future events by using will, shall, going to, etc. etc. Now last paragraph. You will notice in the paragraph above how the same action can be spoken of as for the future. So this is the same paragraph, but the paragraph expressed in future event by using shall, will, going to, etc. etc. Contrast it with the version of the same paragraph under the section on talking of past event. So that was the same paragraph which we used for past event in the last part. That the same paragraph we used for future events also by using this kind of different kind of ways for expressing future events. So students, in this way this part ends here. We are going to stop here. Have a good day to all of you. Thank you very much.